Hi, and welcome to Lead Tutors Extra-Murals YouTube channel. My name is Anslem, and today I want to talk to those of you who are preparing for Jamb exams. I want to talk to you on how to attempt questions for maximum results. You want to crush your Jamb at once. You want to have 300 and above. There is a way to attempt those questions so that you can guarantee high score. I have found out that from experience preparing people for exam, I found out that sometimes it is not that some people don't know they don't know those topics. Sometimes you come out of the exam and you are like, oh, that question, I remember I should have done better and all of that. There are simple tips on how to approach answering the question. Now that you are in the exam hall, how do you answer these questions so that you can maximize time? Jamb is a very time-based exams. You need to maximize time, and quickly do so. What are those tips you can use to hack, the exam process so that you can have a good score? Welcome to today's episode at Lead Tutors Extra-Murals YouTube channel. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel as we begin. All right, so what are these tips that can help you while you are writing your Jamb exam? The first one I have here is that, number one, go for easier subjects or subjects where you have comparative advantage. Now, Jamb is an exam you write at once, and it's an exam where you write a combination of 4 subjects in one sitting. The mistake I see a lot of candidates make in attempting to write the exam is they want to attempt the difficult subjects first. So let's assume somebody is writing a subject combination of English, economics, government, and mathematics. The person wants to attempt maths first because he feels once he's done with maths, he's very fast with English and government and the rest of them. That's a very big mistake. Why is it a big mistake? It's a big mistake because Jamb don't judge you on what you score in each subject. The Jamb score you on what you score overall. So focus on the subjects where you know you have your best chance. If in English you are sure that you're going to have your best chance in English, please answer the English questions first. So focus on the subject where you have comparative advantage. Another thing that's going to do for you is that when you finish answering that question, it's going to help you save time to focus on those difficult subjects. I'm going to come to that. So focus on the subjects that is easiest, or the subject where you know better, where you have comparative advantage. The second thing I want to tell you while you are attempting your Jamb question is that answer questions that you are very sure of first and skip the ones that you are not very sure of. So if there are questions that you are very sure, you are very familiar with, let me use the word familiar. There are certain questions for, if you were in my last video, I talked about use of past question. Now, one of the benefits of using past question is that you become very familiar with Jamb questions. Now, focus on those questions first and answer them. Those ones that you are, in fact, even if they woke you up from your sleep, you can answer them. Focus on those ones. And then the ones you are not very familiar with, maybe they twisted the question, or maybe it's a question you have never encountered before, and you don't know an immediate answer to it, leave it first. Answer the ones you are most familiar with. Spend at least or at most 1 minute answering a question. Whether it is, now there are some questions that once you look at it, you can tell the answer almost immediately. You don't have to spend 1 minute on those questions. You can spend 5 seconds, 10 seconds. But no matter how difficult a question is, spend at most 1 minute. Spend at most 1 minute. If you have spent 1 minute on a question and you still can't find a way and you are not about to find a way, I advise that you leave that question for a while and go and attempt other questions. The next tip when you are writing Jamb exam is if you are writing a combination of subjects that have calculations and the ones that don't have calculations. There are subjects like that. Subjects like economics, there is a mix of calculation and non-calculation. Subject like physics is a mix of calculation and non-calculation. Spend less time on the non-calculations so that you can have more time on the calculation questions, especially if the calculations are long and a bit complex. Make sure you spend less time. Don't waste too much time on questions that have that you can just kick and move on. So that you can have time, because some calculation questions can take you more than a minute to answer. Some of them can take as much as 2 minutes to find the results. Make sure you focus on you save time in the non-calculation questions so that you can have more time. The next thing, number 5, tip while you are in the exam hall that will help you is, if you find a question that you have no clue at first sight, you don't have a clue, it is okay to leave the question and move to the next question. It is very, very okay to leave. If out of 40 you are very sure of 35 first or 33 first, answer those ones that you are very sure of. Skip the other ones. Don't now spend 5 minutes trying to find, to understand a question that you are not very familiar with. So if you encounter such a question, leave first and then come back to it at the end of the entire exam. Maybe you have time, you can now come and revisit all of those questions that you left, that you skipped. Come back to them and try to attempt them. Do not waste too much time trying to find answer to one question at the expense of others. Sometimes you do that, you now find out that there were easier questions down that you never had the opportunity to get to because you were trying to solve one difficult question that came much earlier. Now, number 6, where thing you should note while you are writing the exam: note repeated questions. Jamb repeats questions a lot. Some of those questions just come out verbatim. They don't even change anything. When you find those questions, if you are someone who have prepared adequately, especially using your past question, and by the way, I want to say here that we have answered past questions on this channel. You can see our videos. We have a lot of videos on different subjects on this channel. You can take advantage of them. See how we solve questions. I highly recommend our questions to you because we show you how we arrive at the answers. Unlike the booklet past question and answer that you have that don't show you how they arrive at the answers, we show you how we arrive at the answer. You actually see us solving it. So take advantage of that. So if you see questions that came out verbatim, don't waste your time trying to just go straight to the answer and pick it. Look for the right option, pick it, and move forward. If you are not sure the question was repeated verbatim, just try and see if it's a calculation question. Try and see if you can attempt. As you are solving, you will know what the answer will be. Go straight to the answer, pick it, and move over to the next question. Number 7, leave extra time. Try to answer your question and leave extra time, at least 10 minutes, to review your answers. Some people just, you are trying to beat time and then you get to, you are there and they are saying time is up, time is up. At least have 10 minutes to review your answers. Have 10 minutes to go through your answers. Sometimes in the process of reviewing your answers, sometimes you find out you probably may have clicked the wrong options. You can change it. Or, you may have made a mistake in your calculation, if it's a calculation question, or something. So, but have at least 10 minutes to review all your answers to see if you made a mistake while you were, because of the tension of the exam and all. By the time you are reviewing it, you are a bit more relaxed, and then, you can tell whether you made a mistake, and all of that. So have at least 10 minutes at the end to review, your answers. It's physics, chemistry, economics, for example, those subjects that have mathematics alongside. Listen to me. Maths is not WAEC. In WAEC, they expect you to solve. In WAEC theory question, for example, they want to see the process on how you arrive at your answers. Jamb don't care how you arrive at your answers. So you don't have to go through all the process, while you are solving. Skip as many steps as possible. Your goal is to arrive at an accurate answer. So, as I know, I'm going to do another video on how to save time in maths, while you are doing calculation and all of that. But just take note that you do not have to follow all the process in calculation. When you are doing calculation, as much as possible, skip processes and just go to the to the final answer. That's the most important thing. Nobody wants to see your process. Everybody wants to know that you got the right answer. The next thing is try and keep something write, around you. Maybe something to just a pencil and something to write on. Maybe a sheet of paper for your calculations and all of that. Try and keep that beside you. The last thing I want to say is trust God and trust the process. You say, why are you telling us to trust God? Well, I'll say trust God because sometimes it is not just about how you prepared. Sometimes that works. I've seen people who they prepared very well on, for that exam. In the morning of the exam, they fell sick. They still had to go, but that there is no way you will be 100%, when you are feeling malaria or you have a running stomach or something, or somebody is going to the exam center and something happens on the road and destabilizes you. Something. So you need to trust God. There are some people I've seen, you read very well, you are very sure, but you got to the exam and you forget, you blank out. But to avoid that, I would say rest on the night before your exam. One of the reasons why people blank out in the exam is because they did not sleep well the night before the exam. Make sure you rest well on the night before the exam. So with that, I want to come to a close. I thank you for staying with me on this video. Like and make a comment, ask questions. If you have, please put it in the comment section. Subscribe to our channel and make sure to go through our past question and answer in the channel. Thank you and see you in the next video.